ってよ。
I have to admit, you surprised me. I had to come and see this for myself. You gonna do the honors? I wouldn't say we have a lot of time. This is either going to work or it's not. I think it's time we find out. If you're not going to press that button, I will. I wouldn't say we have a lot of time. Oh my God! There's your exit! Nothing a micro black hole couldn't take care of! Now you can get into labs. We'll follow soon. But I'm not leaving any of my team behind. You could be useful. Try not to get yourself killed. This place is done for. I don't know why you're sticking around. If you see any of my team, tell them you found a way out. I think the soldiers are running out of ammo, but we're not safe yet. This place is done for. I don't know why you're sticking around.
Janet, you always say my science is out of control. This project is different. I feel more in control than I've ever been.
Are you sure about this, Abe?
Of course I'm sure, Janet.
Do you remember the pocket dimension? I remember the pocket dimension.
This is completely different. We're fighting fire with fire. Mance never let me try this, but if I can just bootstrap the neural array, I should be able to... Aha! Oh no. Janet!
Oh my god, it's loose.
Run, Janet.
Unbelievable!
This is Dr. Mance. If you had asked me 5 years ago what our chances of using the perforation system as a stable travel network were, I would have assumed I was talking to an imbecile. Today, such a network seems within our grasp. The T3 unit, or the dark lens they're calling it, has proven exceptionally successful. There are few places on Earth we cannot access under stable conditions. And finally, we can create those stable conditions. In theory. I would say our ambitions have extended far beyond their origins. Far beyond.
Extraordinary.
IS-091 is the most intense AV candidate we've ever encountered. Despite its appearance, it's a transcorporeal entity of some kind, invulnerable to any of the physical deterrents we've tested so far. Walls, doors, shielding, they do nothing to impede it. Intriguingly, it only appears to a single viewer at one time. Dr. Stern has that dubious honor. He identified it in the field, and it followed him back here. Began materializing in the facility, looking for him like a lost puppy.
Janet, wait for me! Oh, you're back.
Are you feeling alright?
Janet got us back into labs, and we had a plan, although it didn't quite work out. Now, we've got a new plan. But first, we need to get into the containment block and access our equipment.
But, wouldn't you know it, they've revoked our security clearance, because who needs it during an emergency? I suppose we could head back to Office Sector, down that way, and hope Warren's got a plan to save us. But that's about as likely as Thule winning a Nobel Prize. We've got to find some other way into the containment block, or this is the end of the road.
don't want to get anyone's hopes up, so let's just say there's certain substances in the containment block that could be very helpful right now.
We just need to get in there.
The wildlife pens are full of testing gear, which could be useful, but it's an absolute zoo in there right now.
We could try the adjustment wing, too. Every time I'm there, they've got some new piece of fancy equipment. They get all the new gear.
I hear those gun-toting apes stole the dark lens and caused this whole kerfuffle. Didn't you work on that project, Janet?
I advised Abe. What are you trying to say?
Have you seen that strange material growing on the vacuum chamber? They've totally let the sector go.
I haven't been there for a while, but it can't be as bad as what happened in reactors. That took months to clean up.
You know, this cola's really not too bad.
You mean the soda that just appears in the vending machine and no one knows where it comes from? And even if you unplug it, it keeps working? That's some quality refreshment right there, Abe.
I'd say this makes the top 5 worst things that have ever happened here.
We are never going to live this down.
Do you ever get lonely down here, Janet?
I am just fine with lonely, Abe.
I'm going to miss this hallway.
It's just walls, tiles, and some weird drinks machine that nobody, except you, ever uses. But I know what you mean.
I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, so let's just say there's certain substances in the containment block that could be very helpful right now.
We just need to get in there.
You look familiar. Oh, it's you. I came through the hole some maniac blasted in manufacturing. Obviously, I was planning on getting through the vacuum chamber to the surface elevator, but it's covered in some muck. Typical. I suppose they'll have something to deal with that in the containment block, but the place is completely locked down. Ugh, it never ends. I really need a coffee. Whatever's going on, it'll be something to do with their work in containment block. Those cowboys can't tell a boson from a bath mat, and sometimes I wonder if they even care. As soon as they set foot in another dimension, all good sense goes out the window. Sometimes I think Sukov arranged all this just to spite me. Please, let me be. You're not helping anyone. There are things in this sector you should just leave completely alone. You'll know when you see them. Whatever's going on, it'll be something to do with their work in containment block. Those cowboys can't tell a boson from a bath mat, and sometimes I wonder if they even care. As soon as they set foot in another dimension, all good sense goes out the window. Sometimes I think Sukov arranged all this just to spite me.